Bienvenido al Elencio Oso versus Hombre. Conmigo en el estudio es Ryan. Ryan, ¿cómo estás?
I don't know, I'm good. How are you?
Así. Esta semana he jugado muchos juegos de video. ¿Usted también jugar muchos juegos de video?
No, I only played one game.
Ryan.
Just one game.
Cada vez que vienes aquí, te tratan esto como una maldita broma, pero es un asunto serio.
I'm gonna go ahead and say no. We go
Okay.
no on that one. The answer is no. Please.
Ayudaría si hablaba en inglés?
C.
No sé cómo.
Oh. This is awkward.
Olvidé. Ayuda.
I'm gonna have to bring in my Spanish language translator, Stan Stanison. Stan. Yes.
Stan. Ayuda.
Excuse me, sir. This is Interpol.
Ayúdame. Tengo miedo.
We've come to arrest this man for charges of international conspiracy.
Me olvidé cómo hablar inglés.
Please come with us.
Ayúdame.
Please come with us, sir.
Oh. Help me, I can't speak English. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Hold on. It worked.
Oh, this
Yeah, I'm back.
is awkward.
Oh, wait. No, I'm fine. Ryan, I'm good. I can speak in English again.
Oh, really?
I don't know what happened there.
Oh, well, I Interpol got involved. That was fun.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. Where'd they go?
It's always weird when a international law organization has to get involved with the recording of our podcast.
That's true.
It's not the first time it's happened.
Also true.
It certainly won't be the last.
Also true.
This is the Bear vs. Bandcast.
It is.
My name is Nick.
My name is Stan.
Stan, come on, put Ryan back on the mic.
Shit. It's Ryan.
Hello, guys. It's Friday, August 21st. We're podcasting a little bit late this week.
Podcasting a little early this morning.
Hey, it's true. Because I don't know if you guys know this about us, but we're part-time podcasters.
Yeah.
And sometimes the way we make money gets in the fucking way.
That's true. I hate working.
But you love money. You love spending money.
I do.
On video games.
I do.
Actually, sometimes I think you might actually like the act of spending the money more than playing the video games. Sometimes.
I mean, that's a deep cut, but yeah, probably. I think I have a problem.
But I think it's a pretty common human nature thing. Maybe it's just you work so hard to earn the money, and you're just like, I'm just gonna make it rain on these video games.
That's what I did this week.
Yeah, you really did. We're gonna talk about that.
Motherfucker.
I
hate my life. Yes.
Yeah, it got bad this week, man.
Yeah, I went to a really dark place. We should probably just talk about it.
I don't really know how that happened, man.
We should probably just get right into it.
So I couldn't possibly have foreseen this future. Like last week, I just said, I'm gonna give Heroes of the Storm a shot. I'm just gonna play it and see if I like it. And I got really into it.
Yes.
And so I started talking to everyone I knew who could possibly play that game. And I'm like, hey, we should just play that game.
Do you remember? I might have even said it on the podcast.
You did?
Last week when I'm like, Nick, if I start playing this game, it's going to be bad.
How could I have possibly foreseen that you're going to, I pick that game up and nonstop play it?
I even think I sent you a tweet that was something to that effect as well.
So you did,
yeah.
You made it and you sent me a text message about it beforehand.
Yep.
That you expressed explicit concerns.
I informed you 3 different ways about all of the risk involved.
You said, I'm going to be really upset if I play this game, if I start getting addicted to this game and play it instead of finishing The Witcher 3.
Guess what I did?
How could I have possibly known you were going to do that? You don't play games like this. You don't have, like... I wouldn't say you don't have an addictive personality, but, like, it didn't seem like the kind of thing that you were going to suddenly just get obsessed with.
Yeah.
So I made a judgment call, and I said, Ryan probably will not get addicted to this game. And I fucked up. I was wrong. And I'll be the first person to admit it. I was wrong.
Yeah, you were wrong.
Because you have a problem and you're addicted to this
I went
game.
in hard. I'm still
You
in
went
hard.
really hard.
Yeah.
You were already kind of in hard because you spent $40 on a beta key.
I did. Mistakes
And
were
then you-
made.
Yeah, but you also got like 5 heroes out of it or something?
I think so. Yeah, something like that. And an amount, I think. I don't know, man.
We discussed last week, we gave the overview of what Heroes of the Storm is, right?
I think so.
I can't remember.
It's a
I
Blizzard
drink a
MOBA.
lot.
I said it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like an accessible MOBA, which is why I think you were more apt to get into it.
Yep.
It's a little bit easier to understand. There's less minutia and stuff.
Definitely.
Which I think we talked about that last week. Which is why I think that's what makes it so captivating. I feel like Blizzard is really good at... They don't necessarily invent genres. Like, they're not, like, the first or even the second to put out, like, a particular kind of game.
Yeah.
But when they put out that game, it's fucking really good.
Oh, yeah.
And they've done that multiple times. I mean, RTS for a while was their kind of bread and butter. They took them a while to get really good at those, I feel like. Mm-hmm. Although I've heard Warcraft 2 is very good in its own regard for the time. But,
Yeah.
I mean, like, things like Hearthstone, certainly not the first collectible card game to come out, but, like, a really, really good one.
It's very good. I enjoy that game as well.
Yes. And you spent a lot. So but you still have spent less money in Heroes of the Storm than you have in Hearthstone, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. It's a good step in the right direction.
I don't know how much longer that's going to be.
Really?
Yeah.
You're, like, getting that close to it?
No, but I'm also afraid of myself.
Well, I mean, even if you're just... And you're using coins sometimes. Even if you buy, like, all the bundles... Mm-hmm. Like, how many heroes do you have left that you don't own? 13? Mm-hmm. Did you say?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that's, like, 2 of those new... Alright, so they added... That patch we were talking about before, it came out already. The Diablo patch, and...
Yes.
It comes with a new hero, and if you own Diablo 3, you get Diablo, and you get some crazy mount if you get to level 70 with a Season 3 Diablo 3 character, which nobody got time for that.
I don't know.
Actually, it doesn't really take that long to get to 70, but if I played Diablo 3, I wouldn't be able to play Heroes of the Storm.
True.
Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. So... I didn't realize the patch was coming out so soon, which is awesome. Because apparently we're already expecting another one, like, middle of September.
Something like that, yeah. For
considering... Oh, that's what it was. That's who's coming out in September.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Ryan's excited.
I appreciate, even though we had to pay for those new heroes, I just appreciate, like, frequent updates and additions of heroes and things like that. That's super neat. Because this is, after all, a free-to-play game. But, so one of the things they added with this patch was dynamic hero bundles. Because last week we were talking about, like, what happens when you have a bundle and you already own a hero in it? They just tell you, like, your SOL.
Yep.
They just introduced these things called dynamic bundles that go down in price for every hero inside of them that you own.
Which is super neato.
It is super neato, except I think it's like 5. So they have 2 different packs right now that they just introduced. There are 5 different heroes, and they're $21 each, which shakes out to about $4 a hero, $4.25 a hero.
Yep.
That seems like a good deal. Some of the heroes in there are expensive. Some of them are not as expensive. If you waited for them to each individually go on sale every week, you might be able to get slightly a better deal, but
Who got time
if you
for
buy
that?
if you buy the bundle, then you get a bunch of heroes right now.
I did that.
I didn't buy both of them. I really have zero interest in the one that's got like Chen and Gazlo in it.
I wanted Chen bad, and then
You immediately regretted it.
actually no, I've come around on Chen pretty hard.
Okay, good.
I've discovered a build of his that I'm quite into.
You discovered it, huh?
Yeah, I googled it. It was good.
icyveins.com.
No, actually, heroesfire.com.
Oh, I've seen that website. You spend a lot of time reading about how to play Heroes of the Storm, I've noticed.
Yep, I do. I have a problem. I feel like there are some characters that if you pick the wrong talents, they're bad. So I just want to know. I want to know.
Some characters are like that. I usually just try and be like, this sounds cool, and it fits my play style, and kind of just freeball it.
The new monk is kind of like that, because if you end up picking half and half like support and damage talents, you'll be good at neither.
Yeah, I can see that.
so-
But I bet it'd be pretty easy to not do. Like,
You'd be surprised.
if you're trying to heal, like, don't pick the talent that's like, this attack does extra damage, and you're like, oh shit, I picked the wrong. Oh man, I meant to pick the one that's the healing.
I fucked up.
Like, I don't see that would really happen. So how do you feel about replacing the void that is World of Warcraft with Heroes of the Storm? Like, how does that make you feel?
Tentative at best.
How so?
I don't know. It's a very different animal. I don't have to like. I don't know. I don't
There's
have
dailies, though.
I mean, yeah, but I don't have to play Heroes of the Storm every day.
You didn't have to play World of Warcraft every day either.
Sure, I did. Yeah, you do. You gotta log on to World of Warcraft. You gotta do your chores.
You don't have to. I didn't do that yesterday.
Yeah, but
I'm still here.
nah, you're dead inside, officially.
It feels that way sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. Heroes of the Storm is good.
There's still dailies, although I've learned that you will get a daily for days you don't even play. You don't even have to log in to get a daily.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
If you just went into a coma for 3 days and you woke up, you'd go log into Here's the Storm. You'd have 3 dailies, and it would be awesome.
Yep.
Except for the whole being in a coma part.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess.
Do you lose a lot? Do you figure you lose a lot of weight when you're in a coma?
No, probably not.
But your body still needs to metabolize something to keep you alive, and you're not eating anything.
I mean, yeah, you are. They feed you through a tube and stuff, dude.
Well, they really they cut up a hamburger and put it down a pipe and drop it into your stomach.
No, I think there's like a medically approved like nutrient thing.
Yeah, but
that they feed you intravenously.
That's like
So yes, you probably would.
and that's I mean that's not just nutrients. It also has like calories.
Yeah, it's like basically glucose. It's kind of like feeding a plant.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah,
It'd be like a killer way to drop some poundage, man.
yeah. Just get one of them comas.
Yeah, like, and then all your muscles would atrophy, and then you wouldn't be able to stand up. You'd be like a
Sick.
newborn baby giraffe.
That sounds so good.
Sick, dude. So yeah, the daily quest system clearly incentivizes you to play every day.
Yes.
Also, right now, because they're all up on Diablo, every day you log in and you kill a treasure goblin, which spawns about 90% of the time at the beginning of the map in your camp and super easy to kill.
Yep.
You get 100 extra gold, which, fuck it.
Yeah.
Play every day. We play every day anyways.
I do.
Like, fucking kill that treasure goblin.
I think I only have to kill 25 more treasure goblins to get the portrait.
So you've played 35 rounds, approximately 35 or more rounds of Here's the Storm since Tuesday.
Apparently, yeah.
Jesus, man.
I have a problem.
That's a lot of Heroes of the Storm.
I have a problem.
Yeah, but we're going to get through it together.
No, I think we're just going to make it worse together.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Are you comfortable telling everyone how much you spent on Heroes of the Storm so far?
Why not?
You do it first, and I'll do it.
All right. Hold on. I have to do some math. Hold on.
Is it difficult math?
Probably. This one. Oh, that's too much. And then, this much, and then this much, and then.
Right, I believe in you. You can do it.
Hold on. Oh, I bought that skin. I bought that other skin. Probably like $150.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many individual heroes did you buy that weren't on sale?
2.
Oh, because I'm only at, unless I miss something, I've only spent about $60 on it.
Proud of you.
I bought the Nexus bundle. I bought one of the other bundles, and that was like $12. And then I bought Asmodan for $5.
I bought.
Oh, and the starter bundle, which was only $5.
I bought
beginner
both
bundle or
of
whatever.
those packs because one of them was just get Jaina for $450. So I did.
That was the one I got, but I had to pay for more,
And then
because I didn't buy Rhaegar with real money.
And then the other one, I had 2 heroes in, and I got I think I paid 12 something for it.
So, weird thing about this game for me is that I'm being more cautious with my in-game currency than my real-life currency.
That's when you know you have a problem.
I have 22,000 in-game gold, and for some reason I feel compelled to hang on to it.
You should spend some gold.
I have plans to spend this gold. I'm going to buy Kael'thas if I continue to like him when he stops being free, because I really like him right now.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if and then the other 10,000 I'm either going to spend on the Butcher or Thrall. I'm probably not going to make any decisions until next week. I see who's on sale, but I said that last week too. So
Yeah, you did. You're not going to spend any gold, and you're just going to be sitting.
I will. What? I will eventually spend gold.
You won't.
No, that'd be totally stupid of me to never spend it.
No.
I'm going to try and spend gold. But the question is, I've never. This is definitely the most amount of money I've ever spent in a free-to-play game.
Really?
Definitely. I never spent any money on Hearthstone. I'm just trying to think. Like a couple of free-to-play iPhone games I spent a few dollars in.
Yep.
Like an average of 2. Maple Story was maybe not even $20.
You should just fall into the rabbit hole and just start.
I already have.
Good.
I'm unless I really don't want the hero, I'm almost certainly going to buy the free-to-play hero every week.
I just
Or
want
not the discounted hero rather.
I just want to have all the heroes.
Yeah, I guess that's the goal here. That's the point. That's what they want you to want.
Yeah,
And they want you to catch them all.
Yeah, they do, and that's fine. I want them all. The nice thing though is that I'm almost done. I almost own all of them. I have 12 more to buy.
40. It's 40 total.
Yeah, I have only 12 more. So it's well, all right. I'll be done in a month.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it.
Right.
But are you going to feel compelled to continue to play that game if you have all the heroes?
I don't know. That's the question. It's like, well, what's the is the free to play draw good enough to like keep me going?
They'll also add more heroes.
I mean, yeah, they're gonna add Rexar, which I want to play as. Bad.
Yeah, you're definitely going to buy that fool immediately.
Yeah, I will.
Which I'm fine with that.
Me too.
I support that. I kind of want to. I don't know. Maybe I should save gold for him. Although he'll probably come out at 15,000, and that's not even cool.
They always do that though. The new ones always cost 15,000, and then they drop the week after.
The week after, or like the next patch?
No, it's the week after.
Yeah, I know you're really looking forward to Monk Guy, but
Monk Guy is dope.
I know you're looking forward to Monk Guy, but I have zero interest in like spending real money on him. I have like a lot of heroes to play as still. We got plenty of varied gameplay as it is right now. I'm going to see how I like really have to look at how much my interest in this game is going to continue.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I like it. I think it's a really good game, but things are going to be happening later this year that will make me, like, even as soon as next week, or like the Destiny expansion is coming in less than a month.
Oh no,
it's going to be a big one. I'm kind of like,
don't play that.
Games are going to come out that will reduce my interest in Heroes of the Storm, but right now I'm like in super deep. So it's really interesting to think like, or to consider and ask ourselves why we think it's fine to spend this much money on a free-to-play game. And I don't know if it's because it's Blizzard, and I'm like, I trust you guys with my money because I've already given you so much of it,
right?
Or if it's just the way it's presented and like the bundles and the weekly discounts makes me feel like I'm getting a good value, even though over the course of it I'm going to be spending a ton of money.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's fine. Just spend the money. It's fine.
I am. Like,
good.
I definitely no shortage of spending money. As I said, it's been less than a week. I put $60 into it.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a real weird thing.
It is.
Considering, like, I want to say a long time ago I played League of Legends for, like, a hot minute. And certainly didn't captivate me like this. I certainly had no interest in spending money on it, even though it's basically the same model. The free-to-play model. Like,
right.
The whole buy your heroes, buy skins for your heroes, etc. But it doesn't captivate me at all. I think it's that Blizzard element.
That Blizzard thing, though.
Yeah,
you know?
And also the accessibility.
It's very accessible. I do like the part where it's all the shitty parts of Dota 2 have been removed, and then they just put in cool Blizzard stuff, which is awesome.
Yeah, an average match is way less stressful. But I've also, and in terms of like, if you start losing really badly, it's over relatively quickly. But there have been plenty of matches that got one-sided really quick, and I got like super duper frustrated at how badly we were getting fucked.
Yeah, definitely.
That definitely has happened multiple times. There's also some times where you get an advantage, and you and your team are just running around in a giant group, just annihilating anyone who stands in their way.
Yes.
And then there's some matches that are just straight down the middle, like struggles to the death. Like both team has all their towers gone. Person with the stronger zombie golem wins, basically. Like that's happened. That's also happened multiple times. So I mean, clearly it keeps that massive online battle arena thing that everyone likes. That's the really dynamic back and forth, competitive elements, takes out some of the bullshit, and then makes it just generally more fun. So it's really remarkable in that way. It does a lot of things that other MOBAs don't, which comes back to what we were saying about Blizzard making the best of genres.
Yep.
Which makes me kind of look forward to Overwatch.
Me too. I'm scared.
I bet I would not be surprised if they did the same free to play like buy heroes with money thing.
I think that's the plan, isn't it?
Well, the problem with that, I don't even know if that's the plan or not. But here's how I could see that not working: is there's only a certain number of heroes, like 12 or 14 heroes or whatever.
Right.
It's like Team Fortress 2 in that respect. Mm-hmm. And I think you can only play one per team.
Yep.
Unless it is like Team Fortress 2 and you just have like 50 snipers on your team, it doesn't really matter. But I think it might be like, unless that was just a thing that they were putting up for show. But my understanding of it was, it's like Here's the Storm. On each team, you can only have one of those heroes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So if it's like, you have, there's 12 heroes, and this week 5 of them are free, then like every lobby is going to be like those 5 heroes versus those 5 heroes.
Right.
Unless people start buying things as real money right away, which
I'm sure they will. There's going to be
people do,
yeah,
for sure. Like I remember my friend was saying about a stream he watched of Hearthstone. And the guy was like, "Well, I never played Hearthstone before, so let's play Hearthstone." And they just immediately just launch Hearthstone, shop, buy 100 packs.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And just like, wait, you didn't have to do that, bro. You can just what? Okay, whatever floats your boat, man.
Whatever works.
Because, like I said, I played Hearthstone pretty happily without ever spending money. But I also am sort of done with that game, so...
Oh, man, Hearthstone's so cool. I'll play it again sometime.
It's just gotten away from me.
Yeah.
You know? I'm not even saying it's, like, bad or whatever. Like, I would encourage other people to play it. Mm-hmm. It's just gotten away from me in such a way that I don't know if I can come back to it. There's, like, too much weird new stuff I don't understand. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the one-player mode was just not what I wanted it to be. Like, I thought, like, that was, like, they released, like, the one-player mode for the first time, and I was like, this is it. This is the moment that I become obsessed with Hearthstone. I was like, oh, it's just this? Oh.
The Tavern Brawl? What are you talking about?
No,
oh, yes.
Azul Narub or whatever, or Naxxramas.
Naxxramas, yeah. It was fine.
It wasn't what I wanted from it. I wanted it. I just don't like playing competitive card games. I love competitive card games or collectible card games or whatever. Mm-hmm. I just don't like playing them with real people all the time. And yeah, I could play against some CPU's opponents with decks that I made from cards I grinded out the gold for, but like, I can't get new cards just by playing against those CPU guys. So
yeah, that's
like I said before. I think I actually said this before, but a long time ago. But I would pay like a fairly large sum of money to have a Hearthstone that was one player, even if I didn't get to keep any of my old cards. Like completely 2 separate sets of cards, which is totally stupid. And they'd probably never do.
Yeah,
but I would pay like I would pay like the price of an actual game to play that.
See, I just assume the people are just computer opponents, and that works for me. I don't really care.
Yeah, I definitely had to do a little bit of that. Like that's definitely a valid strategy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like always online bullshit and like I don't know.
Man.
Constant reminders that it wasn't. I just want like you beat or like a story mode, and just like, oh, you beat so and so from the Scarlet Crusade thing. And it's like you get a pack. Like every enemy you beat, you just get like a pack. Mm-hmm. Like a la like the old like Yu-Gi-Oh games or something.
That'd be dope.
And just make a deck. Like I don't want them to go like the Magic of the Gathering, like the Duels of the Planewalkers games are not really that good. Well, they're fine, but there are not that many cards in that game. It's just like you get a deck, and it's like this is the red deck, and then it's got 60 cards in it. Oh, you beat someone? Well, your red deck leveled up, and now you can replace one of those 60 cards with this other card.
Yep.
It's like 20 different cards that you can like sub into your deck, and I'm just like, no, this is stupid. meanwhile, like rewind to like 2001 or like 2014 or 2004 rather, and like Yu-Gi-Oh for the Game Boy Advance has like every Yu-Gi-Oh card in existence, and you can just put them in your deck whatever order you want. The fuck happened to that?
I don't know. You know what? You know what you should look into. That's a real card game. Is Netrunner.
What is that?
It's
I'm googling it.
It's not a video game. It's a card game.
No,
sorry, but
no, I can't do that.
But instead of buying booster packs, you just buy like the game, and then there's like expansions. So like everybody gets the cards if you buy the expansions. So like it's a card game where you have access to all of the cards. You don't have to like look for rares.
But then I have to. Okay, so first of all, there's like a million expansions to this.
There is. Yeah.
I was like seriously like 5. But then I have to meet with people in real life to play this game.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, they did release very recently they released a Yu-Gi-Oh game for next generation consoles.
I saw that. Yeah.
I played the demo of it. It's like an anthology of like the 5 Yu-Gi-Oh series. I feel like there's been 5 of them. And you just like play through the history of them, which is kind of cool. It's a kind of a cool idea. Except that I don't know anything about the story of anything past like the original series.
Yeah, me too.
But I started playing it and I was just like, there's too much stuff in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh
like,
got weird.
They added basically every monster is an effect monster all the time.
Yep.
And there's just so many cards that at one point I knew like there are enough Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I knew what all of them did. Like legit.
Yep.
All of them. And now it's just like every time a card gets played, I'm like, what is that? I'm like squinting and like, what does that say? If a monster is flip effect, like, fuck this.
Yeah.
It's too much. And Hearthstone's going to be that way too, almost.
Well,
and Magic the Gathering has always been that way.
You just have to keep playing Hearthstone and never get out of the meta ever.
So maybe Netrunner is the way to go. Because there's a certain number of cards, and then you can learn what they all do, and then everyone knows what they do.
Right, and it's not like pay to win either. It's like, yeah, if you don't buy the expansion, that's your fault.
Do you need 2 sets of Netrunner cards? Or is it like
I'm not sure actually.
Or you can just like play like.
I know,
if
like
you had Netrunner, I came to your house. We would just like draft a deck out of all, like we each draft a deck out of all of the cards, and then we'd be able to play against each other.
I know that if you buy like the first pack of Netrunner, like the starter thing, it has enough cards for 2 people to play. Because there's like different factions. There might even be enough cards for like 4 different decks.
Oh my god, Ryan! Like. Hold on a second.
Ryan's holding on.
So you're saying, like, okay, I'm looking at the Genesis Cycle data packs from, this is a part of Netrunner.
Okay.
And they have the What Lies Ahead data pack. And you're telling me that if, like, that thing has always, when you buy the What Lies Ahead, it always has the same cards in it?
Yes.
Okay, that costs $15. Base game is $40.
Yep.
That has 6 data packs, all for $15. That has 6 data packs for all. So this is like 36, 89. Jesus. So that's like over $400 just in data packs right there, and they're not even all available right now.
Yep.
Some are being printed. Some are still being shipped. Some are not being. What does that one say? Awaiting reprint. They have deluxe expansions that cost $30 each. They have draft play sets. They're $5 to $10 each.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if you wanted to own all the cards in Netrunner, which is possible because they're not, like, you don't have to worry about buying booster packs and hoping you get the ones you want, but you're spending like over $600 if you wanted to own all the Netrunner cards.
Yeah, but you don't need to, is the thing.
Well, I thought you paged this, or you brought this to me as like here's a game where you can have all the cards.
Okay, it's a game where you don't have to buy booster packs. And like
that
hope
is
you
cool.
Get a card you want.
that seems that's notable.
Yeah.
That's respectable.
That's why I
but
brought it
I don't
up.
know. I don't know if I have any interest in physical card games at all. I was cleaning my room the other day, and I found my Yu-Gi-Oh card deck.
Really?
My Yu-Gi, like not like it's a binder somewhere with like a bunch of miscellaneous Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Mm-hmm.
It's like my actual Yu-Gi-Oh card deck that I would use when I played against other people. And I didn't enter tournaments or anything because half those cards are banned in tournaments.
Fuck that.
Like cards like Dark Hole, Mirror Force, like basically every card that you remember being anything worth any amount of shit.
Yeah.
Is either banned, restricted, or semi-restricted. And fuck that. Which is another reason why the video games are so good. Because you can just... You got that card? Fucking use it. You can turn on like tournament rules, and they take out like restricted cards and stuff, but why would you ever do that?
No, I want to use all the cards.
Unless that would prevent other like computer players from using like... Because some of those cards are kind of cheap. It's like Mirror Force. Like, if your enemy attacks you, just destroy all their monsters.
Dope.
It's like, yeah, but that's like, fuck, that's like, if that happened to you, that would fucking suck.
Yeah, but deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, those are your options.
Oh, man.
So I feel like, okay, so you look at the character selection screen, and here's the Storm, right?
Yeah.
There's like 40 heroes? 38 heroes or something like that?
Here's the Storm?
Here's the
I
Storm.
don't fucking know. I think there's 40.
There's like 40 heroes or so. And there's room for like 15 more. Just in the
UI,
bubbles
yeah.
that aren't filled in yet. I mean, they can absolutely change a UI and add room for fucking 200 if they wanted to. But there's at least 15 spots left. So, seriously, what heroes deserve to be in that game?
All right, are you ready? I don't think you're ready.
I don't know how many of these on this list we made are serious.
All of them. All of mine are serious. Fuck you.
Like the Hearthstone Innkeeper?
That'd be so dope.
What would he do?
He would shoot Hearthstone cards out of his...
You just want to have another playable dwarf, you freak.
Yeah, I do. Why don't you fucking just like let me follow my dreams, okay? Jesus.
I think the idea of having... So you wrote, number one, a real ass druid.
Yeah.
I don't know what an ass druid is, but I'm interested. Tell me more.
I mean, Malfurion's cool and all, but he can't shapeshift, and fuck that. I want to be a bear. Or a kitty.
Can Malfurion shapeshift?
I'm sure he can, but
He doesn't.
in Heroes of the Storm, he does not. Like, what a wasted opportunity for, like, him to have a mount that's just him being a fucking ram.
He's definitely a druid, right?
Yeah.
Because he was always he was a Keeper of the Grove style hero in Warcraft 3, and those were freaky centaur people.
Yeah, he's
They didn't seem to me like they were druids.
he's listed as the first druid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That seems unclear to me, especially in Warcraft 3, unless they like put some dialogue in about it that I forgot about.
They might have.
Yeah, I think so. Like, who's a famous druid that they could throw in there and be famous?
Ooh,
And like, would be cool. Like, people would be like, "Oh,
that's
I
a
want to buy
really
that
good
fool."
question. I'm gonna.
That seems
Google it.
actually cool though, because you could kind of spec him like as you level him up, you could make him better at being a bear or better at being a cat.
Yeah, definitely.
That's actually got some serious actual gameplay potential. But I don't know who famous druids are. I feel like he's the famous druid. We've had this discussion before.
We have.
Because we were talking about who would be the alternate druid in Hearthstone.
There's this guy, Fandral Staghelm.
I've never heard that name before in my
Me
entire
either.
life.
He's another archdruid, though.
Is he dead?
No, he's alive.
Are there any famous... Like, I'm trying to think of this, like, a horde druid who's famous. It's probably some...
Oh, he turned into a fireman.
Oh, for, like the Firelands thing?
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like there'd probably be a Tauren somewhere who's a druid.
I think
And
so.
he could, like...
Hamal Rune Totem. That's a name I've heard.
Oh, yeah. That is a name I've heard as well.
Yeah, he's the leader of the Tauren people. He could probably turn into a bear.
Oh, definitely put that fool in there.
All right, Hamal Rune Totem, candidate for fucking Here's the Storm.
Speaking of Tauren...
There aren't any?
Yeah, there aren't any play... The
Elite
Epic
Tauren
Chieftain. I was like, oh, wait a minute. That's not... What I'm about to say is not right. I still want to see... So, who's that Draenei Paladin guy who's part of the Draenor storyline? Vindicator
Murad, I think.
Murad. Okay, so we either need Sunwalker Dezco or Vindicator Murad.
Sunwalker Dezco is a way better name, so we should pick him.
And he's a Paladin cowman. So
that sounds great.
He's got my vote.
That sounds
but
great.
We also need more. Are there any playable Draenei in Heroes of the Storm?
Negative.
Let's get one in there, man.
So here we go. I'm gonna alter number 11 while you talk about number 4.
Okay. Ooh, nice.
Ryan did it. Okay.
But the number 4 I put in as a joke. I put in Deckard Cain.
That's not a joke, Nick. Every hero.
He wouldn't
is
be able
valid.
to do anything. He wouldn't do
No,
anything.
he would
just.
Okay, AOE stun, make you read his journal.
And then he'd have his ultimate would be stay a while and listen.
Yes.
That like stuns everyone nearby, and he could also identify parts of the map.
Yep. That's
and
true.
like she give you vision to the whole team.
Hey, we're building this character. You're welcome, Blizzard.
It's the worst idea ever. They should just be like, "Hey, give us $4, and he can narrate every map for you."
That'd be great.
I also thought that maybe having Deckard Cain's daughter in the game or granddaughter. I have no idea what her name is, which is kind of embarrassing.
Who knows?
She's an archer lady. She's got a bow and arrow, but she's super mega dead. Diablo 3 spoilers.
Oops. Yeah, she's super dead.
I didn't realize that at first. I'm going to talk to you a minute about the end of Diablo 3.
Okay.
So, at the beginning of Act 4 of Diablo 3, Diablo reincarnates inside of her. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he, like, takes over her body and becomes incarnate again. And then, when you beat Diablo, you throw his, like, disintegrating corpse off of Sanctuary. And she does not come back.
No.
Like, she's dead. You killed her when you killed Diablo. And I literally just assumed, like, yay, we freed her from the spell, and she's fine now. And then I thought about it, like, a week later, and I was like, wait a minute. No.
No.
She's gone.
Yeah.
Which was a little bit of like it's very like just heavily implied. Like just her absence represents. They don't talk about like they never say that she's dead, but like I don't know. Maybe like that part of your brain that makes you treat every story like a Disney story. Sometimes you just like assume that like everything's okay unless they tell you otherwise. But it's not.
Nah, she's dead.
She's super dead. So we also had this idea that you just put like a bunch of robots,
all the Warcraft robots, just put them together. Blingtron
3000,
Jeeves, throw a Walter in there, Lost Viking style, make him do
or
stuff.
my idea was to have one person control all of them.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like his Q is Blingatron and his W is Walter, or whatever.
It'd be super neat,
and probably have to be a gnome,
but probably like OP as fuck if like that 3 robot combo was like a laner / fortifications repair. So like,
that'd be cool.
If you're defending one lane, you can have like Jeeves or Walter repair a fortification while you sit there and kill stuff in the lane, which would be super cool.
Well, Jeeves would definitely be the repair bot.
Duh.
Or, like, he would shield allies or something. Mm-hmm. That'd be a really interesting support class, I feel like.
Yeah, that'd be super neat.
I don't know how seriously I want Millhouse Manastorm in there.
Well, fuck gnomes.
But fuck gnomes. I don't want necessarily more Alliance mages, but he'd be kind of like he's mostly arcane.
Yeah.
So we do some interesting stuff with having like an arcane mage as opposed to Jaina, who's like 100% frost.
Right.
For whatever reason.
Right.
Is that canon?
I think so. Yeah.
Because she used... Yeah, I guess it is. I guess pretty much, I'm trying to think back to Warcraft 3, where she was like the mage hero for the story.
Yeah. She used ice powers.
She pretty much just had... Yeah, I mean, they didn't really have anything else in Warcraft 3. They had Blizzard and Brilliance Aura and Water Elemental, and their ultimate was something.
Yeah.
Their level 6 skill. So, I mean, like, back in Warcraft 3 days, that's pretty much all they had. They didn't have the option of doing, like, fire spells or arcane spells or whatever. And at that point, you just add a fire mage in there. Because Kael'thas doesn't count.
Okay, that's fine.
Because he's different. Just have to have, like... Actually, no, he kind of does. He knows Pyroblast.
He makes a phoenix person that, like, spits fire.
Yeah, that's not like a fire mage thing.
Yeah.
But one of his other ultimate is Pyroblast, which is a quintessential fire mage skill, if I'm not mistaken. Fire mage is the spec I've played like the least of.
Yeah.
Like virtually zero.
I don't play mages, so whatever.
That's why, that's why I was talking about. Never mind. Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
I feel like that's definitely something that they would do. And while we're at it, just throw Nat Pagel in there, too.
Fuck dude, Nat Pagel would be fucking dope.
Hermit Nessingwary, or whatever his name is.
No, so Nat Pagel, like, his ultimate, you just, like... He throws his fishing line out, and then he comes back with a giant fish that just, like, wrecks everybody in a line.
Or, like, it does a reverse line, so, like, you shoot it, like, a long distance away, and he gets the fish, and then it just, like, comes towards him. And hits everything in its path.
Yeah.
Which would be interesting.
Stuff.
What's that gnome guy, the Ernest Hemingway guy?
I don't know who that is.
Hermit Nessingwary. Oh, have we had this conversation before?
Might have.
He's got, like, whole, like, legacy achievement, like, quest line things in, like, every expansion.
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
Like, Nagrand. The original Nagrand, he was there, and he's all like, he's on a safari and stuff, and he's in Skullazar Basin in whatever.
Beats me, dude.
Fuck you.
Okay, that's fine.
Something they should just put like just something from StarCraft in there. I don't know.
StarCraft is a game.
I don't play StarCraft, so I don't know what the fuck they would do.
They'll think of something.
Yeah, probably. Well, the next hero to get added after Rexar is
the medic.
Yeah, is that like an actual? Is that like actually like a hero? Or like a specific character from StarCraft 2?
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
It's like a medic bot that can like eat people and carry them places.
Yeah,
if they're low on health. It sounds interesting, but I just don't. They don't get the reference.
All I know
like
is
I don't know who the fuck that is.
The hero will shoot a heal beam and have grenades or something.
Cool. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Vol'jin.
Yeah, motherfudging Vol'jin, dude.
Because I mean, even just, I'm pretty sure Vol'jin was like the voodoo master character in Dota 2, and he, like serpent wards and stuff like that, and
sure, yeah.
All that stuff is definitely still like a serpent ward, like a ward placing character, healing wards, serpent wards.
I mean, Rhaegar kind of does that in a way. He has those. He has a couple totems.
Oh. Yeah, I guess that is a shaman thing now, isn't it? There's no like witch doctor. Like WoW lore has kind of like
WoW lore has like removed the witch doctor. He's like not around.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
They might bring him back for something. Who knows?
Yeah, they could do some of that stuff. Give him big bad voodoo.
Yeah.
Makes like everyone on your team invulnerable except for you.
Yeah.
Which should be not necessarily a very interesting ability.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had a Prophet Velen. Oh, and I have one more.
Oh, you have one more.
But Prophet Velen, that'd be cool.
Yeah, fucking dope ass priest, Draenei man.
Is he a priest?
Yes.
Oh, dope. I think they really need to add a priest to that game.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
And they should probably just get it over with and just rip off the Band-Aid and put Khadgar in there while they're at it.
Fuck Khadgar, put Medivh in.
Okay. Did they both turn into birds?
Yes.
All right, I'm sold. Because that could be their mount. They just turn into a bird.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that'd be great.
It'd be a wizard man who turns into a bird. I don't even care which one. But Khadgar is so, like, inside Warcraft's butt right now. I feel like...
Yeah, but fuck Khadgar.
I know, but he's got to be, like, most realistic. He's, like, the most realistic addition on this list. Unless they put in, like, Garrosh. I can see them doing that.
Garrosh would be okay, I guess.
I'm not saying I'd like it or I'd play as him, but I can realistically see them doing it.
Yeah, he would seem to be too much like Sonya is currently. Like, barbarian. Like, she's got the whirlwind, she's got, you know...
Yeah, he could, like... Oh, that's true. But you could do stuff more like what he did when he was a boss or whatever, and, like, could throw Gorehowl and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, have, like, some ranged abilities.
That'd be cool.
They could make it work, and it seems more plausible than some of the other stuff on this list.
Yeah.
Although I see them someday adding Leroy. For sure.
It would probably happen.
Sooner or later. Because he's part of, like, the Warcraft.
He's like the oldest Warcraft meme.
He's canon.
Yeah.
He's canon now. They made him canon.
He got a Hearthstone card.
Yeah, exactly. He's a follower.
That they had to nerf.
In Warcraft. Basically, he was just... that old meme was just... Everyone was just lolling so hard they had to make him canon.
Yeah.
Which I'm perfectly fine with.
Definitely.
Because over the course of the past 10 years, the lore of that game and like the culture around it has evolved in such a way that kind of stuff is all just awesome.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Let's stop talking about this.
Okay.
Except you didn't play any other games this week.
I didn't. So, podcast over.
I played a little bit of other games, mostly in between rounds of Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, there you go.
That's one way to get them some things done.
That's true.
I think we should take 5 though, real quick.
Sure.
Take a little break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about a game that isn't made by Blizzard.
Okay.
Sir, excuse me, sir, I'm looking for food. Specifically, hold on. Specifically, a dip of some kind, maybe.
Well, I have this 9-layer dip over here.
Oh, that's what are the 9 layers?
Eggs, gummy bears, peanut butter.
Please stop.
Sugar in the raw.
Please stop. Please stop. Help me.
Cupcakes.
No, I was looking at something. I didn't necessarily want anything sweet. I was looking for something more savory.
Oh.
Additionally,
Yes.
I didn't want anything that was really fattening.
Oh.
I don't really like, like French onion dip.
I was gonna
sour
say
cream.
it's pub cheese, but fuck that, I guess.
No, I'm lactose intolerant and I cannot eat that. Did I not mention that? I meant to mention that.
How about hummus?
Do you have any baba ganoush?
It's kind of like baba ganoush. It's hummus. It's sabra.
I'm listening.
It's
Yes.
Sabra hummus. It's vaguely
never heard of that.
Mediterranean.
Mediterrestrial?
Mediterrestrial.
What is hummus?
It's chickpeas.
Are those... How similar are those to garbanzo beans?
They're actually identical.
What?
Blow your mind, son.
What?
You can get Sabra hummus today. It's good. It comes in flavors.
Good, I like flavors. What kind of flavors you have?
Do you like garlic?
It's pretty
Got
good.
that. You like roasted red peppers?
I love roasted red
Got
peppers.
that. You like everything bagel seeds?
I
Got
do,
that.
actually, now that you mentioned it. Do you have asparagus hummus?
No. You'll have to go to Whole Foods. They sell asparagus hummus. Also
Do you
asparagus
have-
water, if you're into that.
Do you have cat food hummus?
No, because hummus is for people.
I shouldn't feed my cat hummus?
Probably not.
What if I have a Mediterranean cat?
Mediterranean cats are the same as regular cats, so...
That was deep, bro. I'll take 3 hummuses, please.
Sabra hummus.
Is it homai? Hummuses? Homai?
It's just hummus. It's like
What if I have more than one of
it's
those?
just hummus. It's like amiibo.
Oh, I'm very familiar with Amiibo, so that helps me a lot.
Sabra hummus. It's okay. Hummus is a meal.
And we're back. Ryan, you didn't play any games this week besides Here's the Storm. Shame on you.
Hey, you know what? I blame you. I could have beaten The Witcher 3 this week, and it's all your fault.
I was just like casually like, let's play a couple rounds of Heroes of the Storm, see what you think. I wasn't like
Whatever. Water under the bridge.
I
You've
was
made
not
a
a
monster
drug.
out
I'm
of
not
me.
I wasn't like drug lord, like being a drug lord about it. Like
No, you're a drug lord.
getting you addicted to it. Like I don't work for Blizzard.
Hey,
Don't make any
no.
money on the money.
You gave
Okay.
me the taste, and that's it.
I just didn't think it was like I gave you a taste of like peanut butter, and I didn't think you were gonna get addicted to peanut
No,
butter.
you gave,
but people
you gave
can
me
get
fucking
addicted.
heroin. That's what you gave me.
No, I didn't. You were already on heroin. You were playing World of Warcraft.
Shit.
If anything, I gave you like
Crack.
no something mildly addictive,
Caffeine.
like something habit forming. I gave you,
you gave
like
me a pack of cigarettes.
no, that's way too addictive for this analogy. I gave you like a sleeping pill or something, like, and you're like, oh, this is habit forming. I need these forever now.
Hey, man. Water under the bridge.
Okay, so I played some different games.
That's unfortunate.
No, I like these other games that I played. So, I'm going to mention this real quick because I don't necessarily have, necessarily prepared to talk about it, but
that's fine.
I played, so the Black Ops 3 multiplayer beta went live this week on PlayStation 4. It's a Call of Duty game. I forgot to mention that, but
I mean, I didn't know, so thank you.
Call of Duty Black Ops 3 multiplayer beta only on PS4. The 19th through the 23rd is when it's running. And so the day that the day before it was happening, I realized that I already pre-ordered the Xbox One version of it.
Okay.
Because that's the system that I play Call of Duty games with my friends on, even though now PS4 is the primary system. Like, everyone like they get all the DLC first and all this stuff. The beta's out on that one first because of some, I don't know exactly how much money Sony gave to Activision, but
$1 billion.
that's how it will shook out this year, and for probably a couple more years to come. And so it was out on PS4 first, and you had to pre-order it to get to get a beta code.
Yeah.
And I want to say, like Tuesday or Wednesday, you get the Xbox One beta, and I'll obviously play a ton of that. But like the night before the PS4 one was going to go live, I was thinking like, I was talking to my friend, and I was like, the PS4 one starts tomorrow. If I had a beta code for that, I could play it. All I'd have to do is just like pre-order it and then not pick it up.
That's true. Yep.
And then I went to bed that night, and the next morning I woke up from a dream, and in this dream I drove to GameStop and put $5 down on Black Ops 3 for PS4 and got the code and played the beta and never went back for that copy of Black Ops 3 for PS4. Because that $5 is just, I can use later next time I'm at GameStop. Although apparently an easier way to do it is pre-order it on Amazon, and they send you a beta code in your email, and then you immediately cancel your pre-order because they don't charge you until the game actually ships.
Yep.
So maybe I should have done that, but whatever.
Yeah,
I knew that they were still printing out codes at GameStop and I was kind of curious whether or not they'd actually let me sign up for the beta. Now that it started, they totally did. So I played that. I played several matches of that. I'm like level 11 in the beta. It is Call of Duty.
That's what I thought.
Which the previous game, Advanced Warfare,
was it also Call of Duty?
Was not Call of Duty.
Oh, so
it said Call of Duty in the box, but it was a crazy game where you just jumped around, double jumping, and like smashing, like repeatedly clicking the left stick to fly, like jumping 4 stories in the air, just flying around like a fucking airplane, and shooting guns at people. And that's not Call of Duty. This game, it plays more like Titanfall.
Okay.
Fluid movement, double jumping, but like you can't jump any higher than 2 stories.
Got it.
The maps are just, there's 2-story buildings and like interiors, and you can wall run. You can mantle over things as you're running if you jump into them. You can grab onto ledges dynamically. It's fluid. It doesn't feel particularly like fast.
Okay.
Like especially in comparison to Titanfall, which is the first-person shooter I've been playing the most of recently. It doesn't feel super fast, but it's fast enough for like the map size. Map sizes are shrunk back down, which I really like. In Advanced Warfare, some of them got pretty fucking big. I like it. It feels like Call of Duty again. My main complaint, and they added things like you get a special ability that you activate with like L1 and R1 that charges up over time, a little bit like Destiny.
Oh,
like your super that just like, or your super move, or your ultra. I can't remember what they called it. That just charged up over time, and then you deployed like the giant explosion bomb,
right.
And like in multiplayer Destiny, every kill or objective capture got you a little bit closer to your super. But it also just went up over time. It works exactly like that, except that ability is determined by what they are calling your specialist, which is your like player character.
Okay.
There's like 12 player characters that have names and unique appearances, and they each have 2 different supers. One is like an offensive one that takes a little bit longer to charge up, and one's a defensive one that charges up a little bit faster. And you pick one of those, and then you play as that person, and then you pick your loadout. So like when you go into the match, you go in the lobby, or when you go into the match, you're stuck with whatever your score streak setup is and whatever specialist you picked. And then you can pick your class, like pick your loadout. And the loadout is pretty customizable. It probably operates the most like Black Ops 2. You level up your guns, get new attachments, and then each thing you put in is out of 10 things that you can have on that class, and you can kind of say like, I don't want a 3rd perk because those are garbage. Instead, I'd like to have an extra attachment for my gun.
Sure.
Which is something that's like something they've been doing since Black Ops 2, and has in one form or another, and has worked well. I think it's kind of it really does increase the amount of like customization you have, but part of me yearns for a time when I just had 3 perks and I had to use one of each.
Yeah.
Because it was just more simple.
Nice.
Well, but it works. It's great.
Yeah.
It plays good. It plays well. Even I had a couple connection issues in the beta, but it's a beta, so whatever. My main complaint is player health is a little bit lower than I would like it to be.
Really?
Or what they call time to kill is too fast.
Hasn't it always been that way, though?
It to different degrees,
Yeah.
but games have... I mean, if you look at different games in the series and you play them as much as I have, you can tell a pretty big difference between, like, the original Black Ops or Black Ops 2 versus Modern Warfare 2 or Ghosts had the fastest time to kill, as far as I can tell. Like, you just died instantly in that game.
Yeah.
It's just, that's the really frustrating part of the game, is when you're getting shot and you can, like, turn and put up a fight, like, that's way less frustrating. That's like that. You're like, oh, I tried. I did my best.
Right.
I didn't get the kill. I died anyways, but I did my best. But when you're just like walking along and you just get melted out of nowhere and you're just dead instantly, you just want to snap your controller in half every single time.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, that's the frustrating part. Like, if you're like, oh, I was in a gunfight and I fucked up, and you're like, oh, that was frustrating, but I guess I'll give it another shot. But when you're just like walking along and you get vaporized, that's when it's time to just like hit your console with a hammer. So I do hope that they've said very clearly that that's not like the whole point of the beta is they're still adjusting everything,
Right.
and they've adjusted things like that after the release of the game as well.
Yeah.
So I need to figure out the right way to give feedback about it and to say, hey, here's my official critique, being reasonable and not being an angry Call of Duty person. Because there's the guy who works for Treyarch, the company that's developing this game. He's like the community manager.
Yep.
His name's David Vonderhaar. Vonderhaar? And he specifically said, like, hey, I'm looking for like valid critiques of the Black Ops 3 beta, and we'll take your comments really seriously because we care about the community. But if you act like a fucking asshole and just they're not going to listen, like we're going to laugh at you. Like if you're just like your game sucks, you gonna kill you in real life. Make player health higher. Like that's going to get thrown away. So my official critique to them, I need to find the best way to tell them this, like on Twitter or whatever, is be like, hey, there's a lot of cool stuff going on in this game, but I feel like there's certain things I'm unable to enjoy because of the low player health. Like, I'm too busy, like, hey, cool, I can wall run, or I can do this, or I can use my super, and then I just die instantly. I'm just like, well, that wasn't very enjoyable. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like, it's like if I was able to like more like capitalize on like the advanced movement and like find better like vantage points to like get to points, and I can't even quite explain it. Like different I can't mess with strategies. The only thing I can do is just run and try and shoot someone before they shoot me. It's like the only thing I can do in this game, because otherwise I'll just die.
A secret.
Yes.
Maybe that's because it's bad. That sounds like a really bad time. It sounds very not fun.
I think part of it I need to get back to used to playing Call of Duty again, but I was not doing well in the beta. But I also was just playing by myself with just random people.
Sure.
But I mean, when it's bad, it's bad, and when it's good, it's good. So
I don't know.
I'm not completely discounting what you say, but it's a different style of shooter.
Yeah.
And if they're going to make it like super arcadey like that, then they should own it. But if they're going to be adding like tons of game modes and specialists and movement things, then they have to kind of give us a little bit more room to work with instead of just killing us instantly every single time.
Right.
And there's also been a couple times, and I think this isn't the first time it's ever happened in Call of Duty, but like there'd be times where like I would, let's say like there's like a doorway, and like me and another guy, like we strafe like across the door, and we see each other, and I'll start shooting him, he'll start shooting me, and then I die instantly.
Yeah.
And I watch a kill cam, and according to the kill cam, like it seems like he had a view of me far before I had a view of him. And I don't know if that's just the way the kill cams are processed, or there's like lag compensation things happening. It certainly isn't the first time that I've ever experienced something like that in a Call of Duty game.
Right.
But I don't know if that's because it's a beta, or it's because, I don't know. Because like some of the other games really struggle with lag compensation. And basically was like, if you are the host or your connection is just really good, we're going to slow you down. We're going to compensate for everyone else's shitty connection.
Really?
Which I'm pretty sure all games do that, because you almost have to.
Right.
Otherwise, it's just the person. It's like
an internet war.
It's fucking Quake in 2000
right.
or whatever. And it's just whoever has the fastest internet automatically wins.
Sucks.
So they need to find the right balance of that.
Yeah.
But everything else seems great. The maps I played are cool. I haven't really noticed a problem with spawning, but every game, like in Call of Duty games, everyone is running everywhere all the time. Yeah. There's going to be plenty of times that you spawn and someone is already like running towards where you spawned, like by complete coincidence. The game says like, oh, this area is safe, but someone is just hauling so much ass to that point that by the time you actually spawn, it's not safe anymore. Right. That's going to happen, but I in the matches I played, it wasn't like a big problem. So I'm going to pass judgment on it probably after the Xbox One version is over, and I can play with my friends and stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a Call of Duty game again. I like Call of Duty games.
I'm glad you do, I guess.
Why can't you be happy for me, Ryan?
Because Call of Duty's bad.
Why?
It's just not fun.
I think it can be fun.
Maybe it's because I'm just really bad at it. I don't like things that I'm bad at.
It's the kind of game that, like, when you have a significant number of bad games, you're just like,
fuck this.
I never want to play this game again.
Yeah, that's me.
That definitely happens. I actually I struggled that with just even the beta. Like, I was just losing so badly, like, couple times in a row that I seriously was just like, I'm done. Like, I don't want to play this game anymore.
Yeah, definitely.
This is not fun. Even though, like, later I'll come back to it and
it's like, yeah,
I win one. I'm like, yeah, this game's fucking great. Yeah, I'm winning. Well, I think a lot of competitive games are like that.
I guess.
I guess Heroes of the Storm is a little bit different because I mean, there have been some pretty bad losses.
I mean, but you're still making progress. So I guess
yeah,
that's
and you
fine.
still like I've never been discouraged after a match to be like, I'm so bad, I don't even want to play this game anymore. I'm like, I'm just gonna switch my hero and like give it another shot.
Yeah, exactly. You switch up your hero, you get a new build or whatever.
And there have been plenty of times. Yeah, you go to icyveins.com.
Yes.
And there's been plenty of times that I like have lost just many rounds in a row, and I felt a little bit discouraged, but I never wanted to just stop playing.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's Call of Duty is just like, it's aggressive, it's like visceral. Like when you die, you're just like, ah!
Yeah.
Like it's different. It's ultimately Here's the Storm is just a more laid back experience. It's like you lose, just like, oh no, man, it's cool, man.
Definitely. Well, some people get really heated playing that game.
Yeah, like you.
Yeah, I get heated playing that game.
Yeah, like now that you've played it for like a week, you think you're the goddamn like master of Here's the Storm, and telling other people that what do you think this is, League of Legends?
I like to do that. Makes me happy.
I think part of you, like, you're just like, it's a joke, but part of you is like, I'm being dead serious.
It's mostly a joke. Mostly.
Yeah, Frostborn Hungers.
Frostborn Hungers.
Ryan, I want to talk to you quickly about the best new IP RPG developed specifically for a handheld.
Whoa, are you talking about Yokai Watch?
That game's not out yet, so I don't know. It's not out until November 6th.
What are you talking about?
In North America.
That's really exciting.
I'm talking about Golden Sun.
All right.
I think 2003 RPG developed by Nintendo and Camelot for the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, that game's fine.
That game's really good. It's the best new IP RPG developed specifically for a handheld, as far as I'm concerned. Unless you can think of one. Unless you can think of a new IP RPG developed specifically for a handheld. And Kingdom of Heaven is not a valid answer to that question.
I don't know what that game is, so...
It was an action RPG for the PSP, like a super early PSP game.
I mean, yeah, I don't have an answer for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's because Golden Sun is the best new IP RPG developed specifically for a handheld.
Okay, bud.
It's really good. It's like a classic like JRPG style. You have 4 members of your party, and they all hang out together forever. And there's like, it just does a lot of things that RPGs weren't doing up to that point.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, you could actually use your spells, and then you'd get some of your like resources back by walking around. It weren't just like, oh, you cast fire 3 times today? I guess you can't do that anymore. Right. Why didn't you save it for the boss, you fucking idiot? And you're like, because I had to use it on... I'm sorry. And they have this whole system of these elemental spirits that are simultaneously like it's a whole new way of doing combat, and it also is like a class change system.
Yes.
So each of your 4 members of your party have an elemental affinity. And then there are these elemental spirits that each have their own elemental affinity. And depending on which spirit you equip to them, their class changes and their stats change. And they get new abilities. And then each of them, if they're equipped to you, you can use them in battle to use like a special effect, like damage and blind an opponent, or increase your team's defense, or something. And then once they've been used, they're on standby. And the spirits that are on standby, you can use to execute powerful summons that damage all of your opponents.
That's
and
cool.
Then after it is cool. Yeah. Shut up. And after they've been summoned, after you use them to summon, then they go into recovery mode, and a couple turns later they become re-equipped to you, which means your stats go back up, and then you can unleash them again if you want to. So I've played this game many, many times. I played it. I don't know what compelled me to buy and play Golden Sun when it first came out, and I think it was 2003. I'm just gonna double check that.
Who knows?
I'm pretty sure it was somewhere around there, and it was 2001 that we got the original game in North America. So I was 11 years old when this game came out.
Mm.
It came out. Oh, yeah. So it was like November 2001. I don't know what exactly. At this point, like, I hadn't really played that many RPGs. I think I'd pretty much only ever played, like, Chrono Trigger.
Sure.
Which, that's a good game.
Yeah, Chrono Trigger's good.
I don't know what compelled me to pick up Golden Sun, but boy, am I glad I did. Because that game is really good. And I played it a lot when I was a kid, and I played it a lot over the years. And I had a very particular way of playing that game that I kind of have been trying to try it a different way.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm playing it on the Virtual Console for the Wii U right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like maybe halfway done with the game.
Mm-hmm.
Making some good progress. There's a lot of like weird JRPG, like dumb cutscene stuff in that game.
Of course.
Like, the story is a little bit silly, but you know what? They went for it. And I don't know if it really stacks up to, like, modern... Like, since 2001, in terms of RPGs, we've come a long way. But I think it's still really good. It's one of my favorite games ever. It's one of my top 9 favorite games ever.
I don't like that game.
Why not?
I don't know. It never grabbed me. And it just never... It never did it for me.
I think it's just as good as any of the Final Fantasy games from, like, around that time or earlier. Obviously, like, games like Final Fantasy IX that had the ability to, like, have that ridiculous scope on multiple discs, just, like, huge adventures, like, and then, like, voice acting and stuff later, like, yeah. But they did so many cool things in this. Like, the puzzles are... You can solve, like, using your... Well, sometimes they require you to use, like, your abilities, because, like, certain spells you can use on the field to move blocks and things like that.
Yeah.
It did stuff that other games hadn't done, and there's still things that it has done that games have not done since. I don't know. I think it's a really good game. And the second game, that's also... This is what kind of prompted me to start playing the first game again.
Yeah.
Second game is out on Virtual Console now. That game is huge. That's like a way later title in terms of GBA. It's huge. And honestly, okay, so in terms of a GBA game, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, totally.
It's got some pretty lush sprites.
I did like the way that game looked.
Especially for 2001 on a handheld system. Yeah. It's really jaggy playing it on a TV on the Virtual Console.
Oh, I bet.
Well, I mean, I played on the gamepad almost exclusively, but it's got some lush sprites, and those summoning animations, they went for it.
Yeah, it was like that game looks really good.
And I would encourage... I mean, if anyone wants an RPG to play, it's a real easy get on the Wii U Virtual Console.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so the Lost Age, the sequel, came out almost 2 years later. And that continues the story in, I think, like, a super interesting way by giving you a new party composed of characters from the first game, basically.
Uh-huh.
Like, secondary-type characters. And they become your playable characters, and it takes, like, a whole different perspective. And then you get, spoiler, you can, like, carry your game over from the first one and have the original party joins you like at the end of the game. It's super dope. It's a shame that the third one isn't nearly as good as the other two.
Dang it.
But yeah, it's an interesting idea. It picks up like several years later, and you play as like some of the kids of the original protagonists, and like some of them are married and whatever. And it's like a really good idea. It's just it was like for the DS, and it was like 2008 when it came out, and something like that. And it was just like it was later than that, like 2010, and it was just like still too old fashioned. Like if it had come out in 2005, like as like 2 years after the second one came out, it would have been like, holy shit, this is incredible. But it was just a little bit too old fashioned. Although I should probably give that a fair shake at some point. It was a DS game. I would not be surprised if they put that on their Virtual Console too.
Odds are high. Yeah.
And especially because it's a Nintendo game,
Right.
and they can actually do that without licensing issues. Right. And as much as I don't like that game, I'll still probably buy that shit again.
Yeah.
It was directed by Iwata.
Oh, really?
It was because the first two were directed by the then president and CEO of Nintendo, and so when Iwata took over, he did the next one. I guess he was like, "That's what we do with Golden Sun games. If you're the CEO of Nintendo, you just
make that shit.
You direct those games." Also, the composer, their music is pretty good, and it's going to sound a little bit weird if you just like listen to it because it's a GBA game. There's some really cool. They made it. One of the songs made it into Smash Bros. Brawl. I can't remember what map it was on.
Oh yeah,
but versus Meteor Dragon, or I can't remember exactly what the final boss the second game is. Some of the music's really cool. Music was developed. It was composed and arranged by Motoi Sakuraba.
Yeah,
which you may not recognize the name. Nope. But he's done some Star Ocean games. He's done tons of Tales games. He composed music for Baten Kato's Eternal Wings in the Lost Ocean, which is a super underrated, really good RPG for the GameCube.
Is that one that I like legit gave to you because I'm like, this game sucks?
No, I bought that for real.
Oh, okay.
That's the one with the really bad voice acting that it's like a card battle game.
Oh, that game's trash.
No, that game's good.
Trash.
Why?
Trash. It's bad.
Because card battles?
No, that game's just bad.
It did some really interesting things. Like, you had to, you got your cards, you made a deck for each character, and you got the cards, and you had to, make straights and flushes and stuff like that. Or to, do extra damage. And they also had this system where cards would change over time. Like, in-game time.
But Nick, it only gets a 75 Metacritic.
That's pretty good for Metacritic for games.
Yeah, I know.
I think you're implying that's way lower. Like, you're saying that game's bad. I'd expect it to be like a 60.
I was trying to use
based
it.
On...
I was like, there's no way this game is good. And then it was green. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, I'm not... Yeah, that's weird. Green goes all the way down to 75. I'm not saying it's, the best game ever, but I think it's super underrated.
I think you're saying it's the best game ever.
Some of it is a misunderstanding about it, I think. And they did this thing, so, you'd have, a grape card that would heal, 70 HP. And then, an hour later, it would turn into, rotten grapes that you could, throw at your enemies for, 2 damage. And then after that, it would become wine. And it would heal, 150 HP. And then, several hours later after that, it would become, sacred wine. Glorious wine. The best wine ever. Perfectly aged. And then, that would, bring people back from the dead and stuff. And then it would just become vinegar, 30 minutes later.
Weird.
It was a cool system. Okay, so Motoi Sakuraba, right?
Okay.
Lots of Tales games. Eternal Sonata. Tales of the Abyss. Baten Origins. I don't even know what the F that is. Tales of Vesperia. Infinite Undiscovery. Half Minute Hero. These are ringing bells.
Yeah,
right?
these are all games I know.
Resonance of Fate. What is
That's
that?
PS3/Xbox 360 weird RPG game that I hated.
There was a Bot and Kato sequel?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a prequel. How did I never play that game?
Huh?
I never even beat Bot and Kato, so it got really hard at a certain point.
Oh. Well, that's alright.
Okay, and then so Moto Sakuraba, I'm eventually getting Tales of Grace's F. Blah blah blah. He also did the music for Dark Souls. He's like, I guess he's just in-house. Like, he does a lot of Namco Bandai stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
He did the music for Kid Icarus Uprising.
I don't like that game.
I know you can't play it because you're left-handed.
Yep.
He played keyboard for Bravely Default soundtrack.
Really?
Huh? Yeah. Dude, he works a lot with Nintendo. He does a lot of stuff for Bandai, obviously. Doing the music for Star Ocean, Integrity, and Faithlessness.
That's a bad name.
It's still a bad name. Please change it.
I forgot about that name. It's still bad.
Bandai, please change it. Bandai, please leave.
Please leave.
Bankito's Origins. Oh man, they gotta figure out a way to get. They got Wii games on Virtual Console. They need to put GameCube games on Virtual Console.
That'll happen.
I'm sure it will, and they have to let us play them with GameCube controllers using our adapters that are only for Smash Bros.
Let's talk about news.
Just saying. Yeah, let's talk about the news. So, GameSpot recently did an interview with a Hearthstone man.
A Hearthstone man?
The Hearthstone man, in fact. Let's see if I can actually bring up the article here. I already had it open, but I guess I'm an idiot. Hamilton Chu. He's the executive producer for Hearthstone. And he said, we want Hearthstone to be around for 10 to 20 years.
Yeah, sure.
That's what Blizzard does. And then they went on to discuss about how really shit would work keeping a game like that around for that long.
That sounds cool. I feel like if they want to be the next Magic the Gathering, they need to, like, really... I don't know. There needs to be, like, catch-up mechanics besides dumping $1 billion into Hearthstone.
Yeah, but then you risk, like, alienating the people who already did that.
Yeah, I guess.
But that's something that everyone... Like, I mean, Destiny is only it's going to be starting its second year. It's already dealing with that. So a game that they want to be around for 10 or 20 years, that shit's just going to have to happen, you know? Mm-hmm. The people who have been playing the whole time are going to feel a little bit slighted, but that's just how this works.
I guess.
So they asked him, basically, if one of the ways that they were thinking about... So they're like, okay, so you're going to be 10, 20 years, you're going to need to, like, cut down the number of cards. You can't just keep adding cards. You have to cut away some of the ones that are already there.
Yeah.
And he basically said that that's something that they thought about, but that's like the biggest issue they have to address. He says there's no easy answer to that. That'd be super kind of fucked up if just, you know, especially you're paying real money for cards, and then you're like, oh yeah, that card doesn't exist anymore.
If they turned it...
You're like, well, fuck.
If they turned all the cards that don't exist that you own into dust, that's fine. With me, anyway.
They'd have to give you, like, more dust than you normally would get for disenchanting them. Because they're forcibly taking them away from you. They have to give you, like, a bunch of new cards based on what got taken away from you so that you wouldn't feel like you got, like, slighted.
Nah.
Well, I mean, that's not what you want, but I'm sure there's plenty of people who would start a riot if you took away, like, the cards that they were already using.
Probably, but...
Especially if someone, like, made a deck and, like, they just played it a lot, and they made a deck, like, in vanilla or whatever, and then, like, later they just delete a lot of those cards, and they have to, like, remake their whole deck, or they have to...
I mean, the meta changes all the time anyway. There's a lot of cards that people used to use that they don't use now.
That's true.
So,
I guess if you're really,
if you get rid
really
of
following
if you
it.
get rid of those cards that people have like moved on from because they've made cards that are like those cards just better, it's totally fine.
These are for people who are really into the meta, yeah. But I don't know. I feel like there's going to be at least a certain amount of the player base I feel slighted if they do something like that.
Maybe.
They also talked about how they kind of want to introduce a console version of the game at some point.
That'd be cool.
They said the phone and tablet version took a lot of work, so they're kind of getting around to it slowly.
Yeah.
But it sounds like something they're interested in, and it would definitely work.
Sure. Yeah, totally.
And especially like all that free-to-play stuff is built right into consoles now, so I think that'd be cool. Just get more people playing your game.
Consumerism.
Well, yeah. I think ultimately the PC will still be the best way to play that game, but
Hearthstone on iPad is really solid.
oh yeah, you're right.
What is?
But I can't imagine if you're choosing between console and PC, unless you just really want to sit in front of your TV.
Not particularly for Hearthstone. Like if I want to sit in front of my TV, I'll just put it on the iPad.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying if you don't have an iPad, I feel like that's a casual enough game that you might just want to like sit on your couch and play with a controller.
Maybe.
That'd be kind of cool. You can link all your accounts together and stuff. Yeah. But they got 10 to 20 years to figure it out, so great. Maybe they keep Heroes of the Storm around for 10 to 20 years and won't feel so silly for spending money on a free-to-play game.
I mean, probably it will. Sure.
I think they will. Hey, so Ryan, Twitch is playing Dark Souls.
That can't be going well.
They figured out a way to make it go well. So at first, it started 7 days, 15 hours ago. And when they first started it, they just pooped it out. It was just Twitch plays Dark Souls, Anarchy all the time. You remember Twitch plays Pokemon? Yeah. Anarchy versus Democracy, all that stuff. So they just kind of just put it out there. I said, here are the commands that you can suggest. You can say roll, move forward, attack. It was it's really complicated because they had a diagram set up for each button. Mm-hmm. And you wanted to hit the equivalent of right trigger, you had to type in these letters. But now they have whole new systems to try and streamline the process. So it took them forever to. I got to remember the tutorial area from that game.
No.
So the tutorial area for that game, you go into this room and you fight this boss, and you can't fight him. You have to escape out the side door and go around the rest of the tutorial and come back and kill him. I was watching it when they first launched it, and within the first 24 hours or so, they managed to get into that door somehow using just straight real-time anarchy mode. Just every command, as soon as the character was ready for a new command, the first person who got their command in through Twitch, it just did that one. Whichever one it was, when it was waiting for one, it saw one, it did it, whatever it was. Yeah. Including roll is a command, even though it's technically two inputs.
Right.
They made it that way, so you could say roll right or whatever the equivalent to what you had to type in to do that. And if it was ready for a command and your thing hit, it would just roll right. They actually got out of the area with the boss, got the next bonfire. Mm-hmm. But that next corridor is a tutorial for how to use a shield. It's just this one guy, an archer, just shooting an arrow all the way down it. And halfway down, you can duck to a room and pick up your shield, and then you're supposed to use it to put it up to your face and walk down the hallway, blocking all your arrows, and then kill the guy. Super rudimentary stuff, but it took them they were stuck there for over 5 days. They couldn't get through that area.
I'm not surprised.
Because of the batshit craziness of, anarchy mode and just real time. So they introduced a lot of new things to make the game playable. Mm-hmm. So there's anarchy and democracy.
Okay.
Right now they are very much in a state of democracy. They have it set up to either do baby steps or auto walk, which is when you input a command, will you just kind of inch forward, or will you just walk longer distance? And like the more people who vote one way or the other, it adjusts exactly how long you walk with each step.
Okay.
Right now, you can also set it to, you can vote to unban the menu or ban the menu, because opening up the menu, because you can still move around and the game is still happening when you're paused, it can kind of screw everything up.
Definitely, yeah.
If the menu is open. And then there's also, the biggest thing is they've added in a feature to vote for having a delay between actions.
Mm-hmm.
So in democracy mode, the entire game stops for a second and then takes in all the votes,
Okay.
and then you move.
God, that's going
Which
to take
is
forever for, like...
Yeah, that's how they beat the first boss. Just by every 2 seconds, it stops for like 20 seconds and takes in all the votes, and they say, all right, now's a good time to attack.
Mm-hmm.
Which is probably the only way that this game is possibly playable. I actually think it's really clever,
Okay.
but it's not fun. Like, watching them just, like, flail around just in anarchy mode, real-time anarchy mode that first day was extremely amusing. But, yeah, I mean, I think if we just, like, brought the delay down so you could vote on inputs, but there's less time to vote for each one, I think that'd probably be a really good idea, because right now, like, I'm watching it, and it's super boring.
Definitely, yeah. I feel like that's just a really poor game to Twitch chat play.
Well, I think that's part of why they chose it. The novelty of, like, Dark Souls is the hardest game or whatever, you know? Like, so, wait, we beat Pokemon, let's move on to something harder.
Yeah.
Dark Souls.
I mean, if Twitch can beat Dark Souls and I can't beat Dark Souls, I'll feel really bad.
I was actually... I think I made that comment yesterday. Yeah, I think that it's... I think that that'd be really tragic.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I was thinking that. Because you should just play Dark Souls. Just beat Dark Souls.
I should.
I think you have it in you now. I think you have the power.
Maybe.
So we'll see. That'll probably just run forever, and they'll never get really anywhere.
I mean, yeah, okay. That's fine. It's arguably better for a Twitch chat anyway, because it's just like all the Pokemon. They like went through every Pokemon game ever.
Oh yeah, I forgot they did all of them.
Like, I think at one point I saw Twitch Plays Pokemon Stadium. Like, I think I saw that happening.
Well, there are also a lot of imitators.
No, it was the official channel.
Well, I'm just saying, like...
Oh, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Once Twitch Plays Pokemon got big and started doing all the... like, all the different ones, that just everyone... things like that were coming out of the woodwork. I think this is maybe the most fascinating example of it, but it's because it's so bonkers and impossible and stupid.
Yeah.
Because Twitch Plays Pokemon was definitely conceivable. There were some times that they just couldn't get their shit together, like for 24 hours at a time, or like 2 entire hours of them being stuck in Cinnabar Island because they got trapped by a trainer. And they just had to walk like back and forth until they waited out.
Yeah.
That was a real interesting moment. But this game is just, without the democracy and delay and stuff, it would have been completely insurmountable. They never would have beaten it. Now it's just going to take forever for them to do it, and they still probably don't. It's going to be really hard to do.
Yeah.
Although you can basically, like, it's almost like a tool-assisted speedrun with those delays.
A little bit.
Like, you can stop and, like, really think about what the best action next is. I think even with, like, poor equipment, you could theoretically, like, if a professional Dark Souls player was doing it, then you could, like, perfectly, like, see the attacks coming and dodge them. And with enough trial and error, like, no matter what, like, soul level 1, whatever, they could be able to eventually win. But that's not what's happening here.
No, definitely
it's
not.
just a giant clusterfuck. The next Splatfest teams have been announced.
Uh-oh.
Autobots versus Decepticons.
Fuck.
Because cross-promotion.
Yep.
That's why.
That's the worst.
It's not the worst. But it's a little bit weird. I kind of like the goofy way they were doing it before.
No, I want... Yeah.
Silly things.
I want them to compare, like, oranges to hedgehogs.
In the UK, one of them, the last one, was sleeping versus eating.
Fuck. What one?
I don't know.
Oh. Okay.
I think sleeping. Eating wins.
Good.
Like the first one in Japan was bread versus rice.
It's still
Like,
my favorite
bring
one.
on this silly
Yeah.
shit. Like, I don't care how much money fucking whoever owns Mattel wants to give you for Autobots versus Decepticons. Although, if you're a fan of Transformers, the shirts you can get for your Splatoon person are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty solid. Like, it's like just their logo, which is like, you know, very iconic. So if you're into that shit, that'd be cool for you. But yeah, fucking weird.
Man.
I tell myself I want to log in and just like pick a team, just so if they, on the off chance they win, I get something. But I haven't played that game in a while.
Me too. I kind of forgot about it.
I need to. I kind of did too, but which is weird because I like it. I liked it. I liked my time with it a lot.
I'll say it once. I've said it once. I'll say it again. It's fine.
Yeah, I think maybe we should go back in now that there's like more game modes and shit like that. More weapons.
Okay.
If you ever stop being addicted to Heroes of the
Probably
Storm. So, last week they made Destiny.
Oh no.
Give me a second here. Destiny, right?
The worst game ever made.
Shut the fuck
I
up.
won't.
That's such a okay. First of all, it's still a functioning, like really snappy, good game. It looks beautiful in HD and is like functional and good. So it's better than ET for the Atari 2600.
Nothing's better than
shush.
ET for the Atari.
Shush! It's better than Superman 64.
Nope.
So they have this particular exotic rocket launcher called the Gallahorn, and it's super powerful. And when you shoot people with it, it creates a bunch of other like aggressively tracking and very powerful explosions that find your enemies and destroy them. Super coveted, super rare. Everybody wants it. It's the best weapon in the game. Everybody uses it. At any given moment, 30% of people have the Gallahorn equipped, and that's crazy. It's like it's the thing about that. Like it's the one, you know. And games kind of need that, but at the same time, developers don't necessarily want that to happen. Like they don't want everyone to have the same guns. They don't want everyone to use the same guns. They want to make all the guns good so that people use a variety of different things. So when we talked about the nerfs that they were doing, it was included in the nerfs because too many people were using it, basically.
Okay.
And so they wanted to discourage people from using like popular guns. Because if everyone's using the same gun, that means that gun is too powerful.
Right.
Which makes sense to me. So over the weekend, Xur is the guy who sells you. I talked about him before, but there's certain in-game currencies that you can spend on him, and he sells you exotic gear. And he has a rotating stock, and he's only there for 3 days every weekend. If that's ringing any bells,
Just vaguely.
So he sells a piece of armor for each class, and then a weapon every week. Except for like 2 weeks ago when he didn't have a weapon, and they're just like, "Oops, oh well." And they didn't every time like Xur fucks up. Xur's always been messing up. The first 3 weeks of the game, he sold the same exotic piece of armor for warlocks. So warlocks are basically just SOL. Like, oh, you don't like that piece? Well, then you don't get exotic. You don't get to have an exotic for 3 weeks. And they're just like, oh, yep, I guess Xur's just got a mind of his own. And that's been the cause of much controversy. And so this past week, for the first time ever, you could just buy a Gallahorn.
Oh.
Usually it was just a super rare drop. And it's not possible that's just a coincidence. After they announced the nerf, they give everyone a Gallahorn.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, they've been intentionally avoiding doing that well, it was powerful and coveted, and they wanted people to strive for trying to find one, and they're just like, well, we're going to nerf it, so we'll just give it to everybody. Mm-hmm. But apparently, they've officially said they have no control over what Xur sells, which is the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard. It's their goddamn game.
Wait, it's random?
Supposedly.
Fuck, that's dumb.
Yeah, that's what they say. And like, so when they sold the same Warlock thing 3 weeks in a row, or they sold, or they went with no weapon 2 weeks ago or whatever, like they just weren't selling one.
Yeah.
They didn't, like, they just said like, oh yeah, it'd be kind of hard to fix him, so we're just gonna leave him like that, and it's just fine. So I don't really know like what they're doing there, because they have some algorithm or something to decide what he sells, and it just doesn't go well, and they go like, shit, we fucked up. What do we tell them? Just tell them we don't have any control over it. Like,
sure, man.
It's the weirdest thing ever, and it's just getting weirder. And then recently, I think they were doing an interview with GameStop, and they talked to, or GameSpot. I always do that.
Me too.
And they said that unlike some weapons, exotic weapons, there's going to be no way to make the Gjallarhorn compatible for the next expansion.
Compatible?
Like, so right now, the highest amount of damage you can get on a weapon is 365. Mm-hmm. And there's been reports of people playing like the early versions of this new game, like journalists and stuff, and saying like they'd find like a random like green shitty weapon that had more than 365 damage on it. And they said that some of your exotics you'll be able to upgrade in a whatever way they decide to do with this expansion, so that it now the max damage is 408, which is like the highest you can get for this particular expansion. They said Gjallarhorn is not going to be one of them. The Gjallarhorn is effectively going to die in less than a month when that expansion comes out. It'll become useless.
Sure.
It's going to stay forever a year one damage weapon, which is a terrible, pointless. Like, I don't even know why they're bothering nerfing it.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going to make something else that's more powerful, so who cares?
And then release it only on PS4.
Good.
It's fucking... What a dumb fucking thing. I don't know, man. I'm obviously going to play the crap out of the Taken King, but, like, what the fuck is going on? They're making a lot of good improvements. They're taking out, like, the light level and stuff. Like, they were on the cover, the expansion on the cover of Game Informer this month, and a lot of information came out of their issue about all the good stuff they're doing and taking out light levels and trying to make the game less grindy, and like I think it's going to remove some of the complaints that a lot of people had when the game was first released. But they're also just doing weird stuff like this, like exotic weapons that are just being basically removed from the game, making them useless to people. And it's like, I don't know, there needs to be... Yeah, I think you're right. There's going to be a new weapon that's OP, and something's going to have to replace the Gjallarhorn, because that's such a big part of like Destiny lore.
Definitely, yeah,
almost. All right, Ryan, I'm going to leave you to talk about this last one because you're so fucking excited,
dude. All right, so I was on the internet today.
Yeah, this was like after we got on Skype that we found out about this,
and I just saw a tweet from, I think it was IGN. And it was like...
I think they broke the story,
It was like, Pokken Tournament announced for Wii U, Spring 2016, global release. Everybody rock your air horns because this is so dope. I'm really excited. Pokken Tournament looks so cool. It's the Pokemon game that's like a fighting game made by the people who made Tekken.
So it's a 3D fighting game?
Yeah.
Damn it. I don't like those
I
as
don't
much.
care. I'm going to play the shit out of it. It looks so good and fast and fun and
I'm very excited. It's cool. It's cool. Like my only hope of ever playing it before was like at a Dave & Buster's if that deal went through.
And nobody wants to have to do that.
Yeah. This is way better. I'm super excited.
Yeah, it seems awesome. It's such a good idea, and then like maybe my Charizard amiibo will do something.
There's rumored amiibo support, but who knows?
It's a Nintendo game, so
there's only 3 Pokemon in here that are amiibo. That have amiibo. So Charizard's in it, Pikachu's in it, and Lucario's in it.
How many playable characters do they have announced already?
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 right now.
Only 10. Is that game out already in Japan?
Yes, it's in arcades right now.
Okay, so there's probably more characters.
I'm sure. Once that
or like
console version comes out, they'll add a few more.
Or characters that you can only add with amiibos.
I don't think they'll do that.
It's like Greninja. He's not in this game unless you have an amiibo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's like Marth in Project Steam or whatever.
Yeah, weird.
Fuck it, put Marth in there too.
Put Marth in there.
Put Mark in there. Yeah, Mark and Wii Fit Trainer in Pocket Fighter.
I want to point out that there's Pikachu and then there's Pikachu Libre, which is probably my favorite thing that's ever happened. It's just Pikachu in a Lucha Libre costume.
That's incredible. So those are 2 separate characters? Yes. How does Pikachu even fight a Charizard? Like, how can any of his attacks hit Pikachu?
Well, it sounds like he uses like a lot of jumping and then shooting lightning, so it kind of doesn't matter, like how tall they are.
Pikachu seems OP. No, I'm more worried about Charizard, like, and all his attacks just whiffing.
Oh, I don't know.
Or like Blaziken or something. Or Lucario.
I saw a trailer.
Way too big.
Saw a trailer of Machamp fighting Pikachu, and he just like picked him up by the head and threw him up in the air, and then punched him in the face with 4 arms.
That sounds
That's
awesome.
That's why I want to play this game. This game's
Spring 2006 global release. We'll play that game.
Spring 2006. It came out 9 years ago. That's what you just said.
I do that a lot. Okay. I don't know if you noticed that. Ryan, do the plug.
Do the plug.
I'm done with this.
Hey, we're Bear vs. Man. We have a website, bearvsman.com. Send us questions to have answered in a soon-to-be-coming bonus cast about questions.
Oh, yeah.
You can email us at questions@bearvsman.com.
Or tweet the question.
Tweet us the question.
Put the question on Facebook.com/BearVsMan.
Yeah. We're on Vine. Search for Bear vs. Man. We're making quality ads. #quality ads. In 1 week, we're gonna be on twitch.tv/Bear vs. Man from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern time, playing video games.
It's going to be pretty dope.
You should watch it. We're going to play video games for 12 hours. twitch.tv/Bear vs. Man. It's good stuff.
All right, everyone. This thus concludes the Bear vs. Mancast episode 26. Everyone have a wonderful weekend.
Hey.
Or else.
Or else I'll come to your house and
we'll know.
Feed you Fun Dip until you start having fun.
And also Otter Pops.